there, Gemini. Welcome to a tarot reading for June 2024. It's Rena here. I will be doing a spread that's different than I normally do. I will have a central card that represents the theme of June, and then I'll have two cards to the left of general energies, and then a new moon and a full moon card. And the last card will be an outcome card, okay? So let the games begin. Okay. So, all right, I should have put like a card that was like kind of the challenge card, that the energies that you have to work with, but I just devised this on the spur of the moment, so I guess I'll refine it as I go along. So central theme is the Hierophant card. Actually, it shouldn't surprise me because I'm recording this reading in May, a couple of days before the full moon in Sagittarius, which will affect your 7th house of committed partnership. Now, of course, this is a general kind of reading, so I can't speak to your personal chart, but the Hierophant, in addition to being a card that is about, like conformity, and I would say for a lot of Geminis, the full moon may actually affect your employment house, your 6th house, rather than your 7th, but it also is a card that represents marriage, traditional values. So there could be a theme that is emerging about commitment with you in the month of June, the month when many of you are having your solar returns. The two cards that I got here representing the energies of June, one of them is the Queen of Wands, and this is, I see this as Leo energy, but it's considered Sagittarius energy, so that kind of doubles down on the influence of that full moon in May. But in terms of the card itself, it represents the energy of, especially, for women, the energy of leadership and confidence, and yet retaining the feminine side of things. So no matter what it is that you're doing, if you're asserting your independence, you don't have to do so from a position of being very insensitive or anything like that. It's coming from that inner feminine. The Wands is definitely a masculine, it's a fiery influence, but the Queen represents the water element. So both of them are emotional though, so it wouldn't surprise me if June is an emotional month for you, maybe uncharacteristically emotional. Especially when I get this card, the Ace of Swords, and I'm getting a card that might represent relationships. This can be your swords, because you're an air sign. All the air signs are swords. And the Ace of Swords can be kind of seeing the light and getting that clarity, that mental clarity that allows you to move forward. So I personally think that, sometimes people, when they're debating whether or not to leave a relationship, they kind of wait around until they get proof of something. And really, it's backwards, because when you get that feeling of confidence and that feeling of inner knowing and resiliency, or is it just resilience? You don't need anything external to kind of confirm that. people who need that kind of proof are probably either delaying the inevitable or they really second guess themselves a lot. They don't trust their own perceptions. Okay? So I'm just saying this from the perspective of if you're already having issues in relationships, in a relationship, that you not talk yourself out of something because you really don't want to deal with it, because that can be quite a tendency sometimes for people that have some of these influences, and that's unfortunate because obviously it could lead you to deny the truth of a situation. And so, do I think that June is going to be a month where you're really focused on relationships as a whole? I mean, I have an astrological reading for Gemini that talks about some of the things that are going on. I think it's more about you investing in yourself more than anything else. I don't think that it's all about other people. I think it's about you. You know, you're having a new moon in your sign. So this is the card that I got for the new moon, the Empress. And sure enough, you see that Venus symbol. This is connected to love. So that's one of the reasons why I thought perhaps this reading was relationship related. For those of you who are single, this may be a month of discovering why it is that you're single. And the Empress is about love, but it's also about children. You know, sometimes it can be about pregnancy. It can be creativity. So if this is work related, you might be feeling as though maybe the Ace of Swords is it dawning on you that the reason that you've been unsatisfied in a particular line of work is because it doesn't represent who you are. And you may feel this sense of frustration about it. So, the other thing about the Empress is it can be about abundance, like financial abundance too. It is connected to the two signs that are ruled by Venus, which are Taurus and Libra, which is your fellow air sign. So that's the new moon for you that happens to be in the first house in your sign and may represent something about you that is that you're changing. Maybe you're going in a new direction in terms of how you present yourself to others, because let's say you are a woman and you want children. Maybe you're over 30 and you think that the clock is ticking down, and you've been happy to be single. You know, keep that in mind, because you don't want to do something that just because, you know, you see other people around you doing it. I don't think that Gemini people would necessarily be like that, but I'm just saying it's human nature to, if you have a group of friends. I saw it with my own partner's friends that, and he's a bit older than I am, so they were all going through marriages at the same time and divorces around the same time, the ones that got divorced. And it just gives people a sense of freedom to do something that, you know, they're afraid of the backlash sometimes. So anyway, the card that I got for the full moon is the Five of Swords. Now, I've always wondered if this is actually connected to Gemini, because it can be about gossip, which is the lower vibration of Gemini. This is a card of, to me, like toxic communication, but especially when it's behind somebody's back. And I can see people ganging up on somebody and maybe talking smack about them. The full moon is going to be in Capricorn. And for Gemini, this is actually falling in your 8th house, which is the house, if we're going to talk about houses where full moons would fall, that secrets could come out. And I mean, it could run the gamut of what those secrets are, but the bottom line is that you may find that maybe you find out about this through some kind of gossip or some kind of, it gets back to you in some way. And if this has to do with an inheritance, like an estate issue, a probate issue, whenever I see the 5 of Swords, I always think of I don't just think of one person, I think of multiple people. So in your family of origin, or if you come from a family where one of your parents remarried and their children, their adult children, you may or may not have a good relationship with them, and that could lead to, there could be some kind of behind the scenes drama that comes to light. And what I would say about that, especially for somebody who's a Gemini, is watch your own words. Even if you hear something said against you, you still have the ability to choose how you behave. It doesn't have to be tit for tat. And then I have the outcome card, and it is the Page of Wands. And talk about, I mean, usually we think of the swords when we think about thoughts and utterances, communication, but the page can be messages. Page of Wands is good news. So whatever, you are dealing with in the month of June, there can be like a good outcome. Pages can also be the beginning stages of something. So you don't have to fear that, even if you have to go through a little bit of discomfort, all's well that ends well, Gemini. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. Well, of course, this is the future, so how could it? But maybe you already know the situation at hand. If you would like a private reading, I do astrological readings most often. I have a deal going, which is my double reading, an hour of natal chart analysis, an hour of transits for the next 12 months for a special price. That's called my deep dive package reading. And then I have a couple of other package deals, and I have individual readings as well with career, love, yada, yada. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.